Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take your sources. It could be articles, research, maybe even just your own notes, and we really pull out the key insights. It's all tailored for you. We call you the learner, and the goal today is simple. Get you up to speed on a topic quickly, thoroughly, but, without making your head spin.
And for this deep dive, you've given us some really interesting stuff focusing on something called JournalPAL.
All right.
We've got a technical notebook that goes pretty deep into how it works, the different AI agents involved.
Okay.
And then there's also a promotional piece, sort of a narrative and a script that introduces the tool. So a good mix.
Yeah, sounds like it. Now, most people, I think, know about journaling, pen and paper, maybe a simple notes app on your phone.
Sure, the basics.
But JournalPAL, it sounds like it's trying to do something, well, a bit different, maybe shake things up. So, okay, let's start there. What's the problem it's actually trying to solve?
Well, the promotional stuff, the narrative and the script, they kick off by hitting on something pretty universal, I think.
Which is?
We live these, really rich lives, lots of moments that feel significant. Moments of joy, connection, maybe tough challenges too.
Absolutely. The things that kind of make us who we are. And yeah, the script mentions we often try to capture them, right? Like take a quick photo, jot down a word or two.
But here's the kicker they raise. How often do we really engage with those moments afterward?
Yeah.
How often do they just sort of fly by and the meaning underneath, the potential lessons, they just fade into the background noise of everyday life?
That hits home, yeah. And both those pieces, the narrative and script, they touch on the usual ways we try to reflect. Pen and paper, basic digital notes.
Right.
And they suggest, look, these are okay, but maybe they don't always get us there. Sometimes it feels like homework, staring at a blank page, wondering, okay, now what?
Exactly. It can feel disconnected from the actual richness of the experience itself. And that's really the entry point for JournalPAL.
Okay.
Its core idea, and the narrative calls it this, it's not just about storing thoughts. It aims to be an intelligent companion.
An intelligent companion. Interesting phrase.
Yeah, and the main goal, you see this across all the materials, is helping you get to a deeper self-understanding.
So moving beyond just logging events like I did this today to really digging into the why of it all.
Precisely. And the technical notebook in its why section, it reinforces this. It talks about creating an AI agent to empower more effective self-reflection and also help users actually learn better journaling techniques along the way.
So it's trying to teach you as well.
In a way, yes. It's about that synergy they mention, our human ability to reflect, combined with smart technology aiming for personal growth.
Okay, I'm intrigued. This is where it starts to get really interesting, isn't it? The how.
It definitely does, because when you dive into that technical notebook, you see it's not just about typing text. A really big piece is how it handles images you upload.
Images, okay, so photos from my phone, maybe?
Exactly. And this brings us to the first AI component they detail, the image analyst agent, or Agent 1.
Right, Agent 1. So as the learner, just wanting the key takeaway, what's this agent doing with my photos?
Okay, so it looks really closely at the image. It tries to figure out, who or what is the main subject? Are there people showing obvious emotions? What activity is happening? Where is it the setting? Any key objects? And what's the overall sort of atmosphere or feeling?
Wow, okay, so it's extracting quite a bit of information just from the picture itself.
It's picking up those visual cues. And then based on all that analysis, it generates typically 2 to 4 open-ended questions. Prompts, basically.
Prompts based on my photo.
Yes, specifically designed to make you think more deeply about what it saw in that photo.
Yeah.
And the notebook even shows how this output is structured, like technically so other parts of JournalPAL can use it easily. The analysis is like a bulleted list, and the prompts are just straightforward questions.
Okay, so it's not just saying cool picture. It's giving me specific starting points for reflection tied to that visual moment. What's next in the chain? What does Agent 2 do?
Right, so the next one is the Creative Journaling Assistant Agent, Agent 2. This agent takes the analysis from Agent 1.
The image analysis.
Yes. And if you've also typed in some of your own thoughts, it looks at that too. Then it generates a short, maybe around 100 words, example journal entry.
An example entry. Based on my photo and maybe my initial notes, that actually sounds super helpful, for those times you're stuck.
That's exactly the idea. It's meant to give you a little spark, like, oh, maybe I could write about it like that. It tries to use descriptive language, explore potential feelings, touch on the significance, all based on the input.
Okay. I can see how that would lower the barrier to entry. But how does it help connect, different thoughts or moments together, like building a bigger picture?
Ah, good question. That leads us to Agent 6, the memory synthesizer agents.
Agent 6, okay. Skipping a few there.
Well, the notebook details them, but 6 is key for the synthesis part. It takes any text you've written.
My own journaling bits.
Right. And it combines that with the insights and themes that came out of the image analysis we talked about. Its job is to weave these together into one coherent, reflective piece, a narrative of the memory, essentially. Maybe 150 to 300 words.
So it's blending my words with the AI's analysis of the picture to create a more complete story.
That's a great way to put it. It's trying to make it flow, feel personal, connect the dots from your experience.
Okay, interesting. Now, I remember reading something about turning this back into a visual. Is that right?
You got it. That's Agent 7, the image prompt creator agent.
Creating a prompt for an image.
Exactly. This agent takes that synthesized memory narrative the story Agent 6 just wrote and boils it down. It creates a short but very vivid and descriptive instruction set for an AI image generator. That instruction set is the prompt.
And it's specific about the kind of image, I think.
Yes, very specific. Crucially, Agent 7 explicitly tells the image generator AI to create the picture in a hand-drawn doodle style, or maybe simple line art doodle.
Uh-huh. So that's where the doodle comes from. It's intentional.
Absolutely intentional. It's designed to give the final output that distinct sort of personal artistic feel, not just a photorealistic image.
Okay, so Agent 7 makes the prompt for this doodle. What actually, draws the picture?
That would be cell 8 in the notebook, which utilizes the Stable Diffusion image generator.
Stable Diffusion, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a well-known, powerful AI model specifically for making images from text descriptions, from prompts. So it takes the doodle prompt Agent 7 created and, well, generates the image.
Got it.
The notebook does mention that this works fastest with a good graphics card GPU. It might be a bit slower if your computer is just using its main processor, the CPU,
Right.
But it gets done.
So it takes our reflections, synthesizes them, turns them into a prompt, and then creates this unique doodle. That's pretty neat. What about getting better at the journaling part itself? Does it help with that?
It does. There are actually 2 agents focused on coaching. First is the journaling coach agent for feedback, Agent 8.
Feedback on my entry.
On your overall entry, yes. After you've written something, maybe using the prompts and synthesis, this agent gives you maybe 2 or 3 concise, positive suggestions. Things you could actually do next time.
Actionable feedback. That's key. Like what sort of things?
It focuses on reflective techniques. Maybe suggesting you add more sensory details, what things looked like, sounded like, smelled like.
Oh, right. Engaging the senses.
Exactly. Or exploring emotions more deeply. Or maybe explicitly linking what you wrote back to the image you started with. Things to make the reflection richer.
Okay, that makes sense. And the second coach?
That's the journaling coach agent for advice, Agent 9. This one offers slightly broader tips, again maybe 2 or 3, for your general journaling practice, based on what you did in that session.
So less about that specific entry, more about habits.
Kind of. It might give encouraging advice like try focusing on your senses next time, or consider exploring the why behind your feelings, or think about the significance of this event, or even just use more descriptive words. It's like gentle guidance for future journaling.
Like a little mentor built in. Okay. Now, wasn't there one more agent tied to visuals? Something conceptual.
Yes. Agent 10, the conceptual artist agent. This one's a bit different.
How so?
It generates a description of a potential image, but, and this is the key part, it bases this description only on that short example journal entry that Agent 2 created way back at the beginning.
Wait, not based on my final synthesized entry, but on the AI's first little example snippet.
Correct. So, Agent 10 looks at that 100-word example from Agent 2 and describes a scene, subjects, colors, mood, style, all based purely on that initial AI-generated text.
Huh. So the AI is kind of imagining a picture based on its own earlier writing about my picture. That's quite meta.
It is a bit meta, yeah. It's an interesting layer. Okay, so we've unpacked quite a few agents there, each doing its part. Let's pull back. What's the overall effect, the magic that the promotional stuff talks about, especially for the learner?
Yeah, what's the payoff for all this processing?
The magic really culminates in the creation of that unique hand-drawn style doodle we talked about.
The one from Stable Diffusion.
Exactly. The promotional narrative builds up to this. It's presented as the tangible output, a visual symbol of the memory you've just explored and reflected on, helped by all these AI agents working together.
So it transforms the raw input, my photo, my scattered thoughts, into this very personal piece of art that encapsulates the reflection.
That's the core idea. Data becomes personal art, representing the journey of understanding that moment.
And crucially, for someone like me, the learner, who wants things clear and efficient, how complex is this to actually use? All these agents sound like a lot going on.
That's a really important point. The materials, the narrative, the script, they strongly emphasize that despite all this complex AI work happening under the hood,
Yeah.
it's delivered through a user interface designed to be really simple, focused, and step-by-step.
Okay, that's good to hear. The technical notebook even mentioned UI widgets, didn't it? Like choosing your input mode.
It did. You can select if you're starting with just images, just text, or both. And it mentions a clear text input area, an easy way to upload images. The design philosophy seems to be avoid overwhelming the user. Keep it clean, keep it intuitive, let the AI handle the complexity behind the scenes.
Makes sense. So just quickly, what's the underlying tech making this possible? What's powering JournalPAL?
Well, at a high level, the notebook points to using advanced AI models from Google, mentioning Gemini specifically, for those initial tasks analyzing the text and the images.
Okay, Google AI.
And, as we covered, the Stable Diffusion XL model is the engine used for generating the final doodle image.
Right.
The notebook also includes a practical point. You generally need an API key, like a password, to access these powerful AI services.
Got it. So standard procedure for using these kinds of cloud AI tools. Okay, let's try and summarize this deep dive then. JournalPAL. It's really trying to reimagine journaling, isn't it?
I'd say so, yeah. It's using AI not just as a place to dump memories, but as an active collaborator to help you achieve deeper self-understanding by analyzing images, offering tailored prompts, giving feedback, synthesizing your thoughts.
And then creating that unique visual summary, the doodle.
Exactly, that whole process.
And thinking about our listener, the learner, this feels like it offers a pathway to get meaningful insights from life experiences, but maybe more efficiently, more thoroughly, without the process itself feeling like a huge chore.
That seems to be the promise. Those aha moments of self-discovery could potentially come more easily, or perhaps from different angles, through this kind of guided, AI-assisted reflection.
Right, it guides you through it. Okay, so maybe the final thought to leave everyone with is this. How could having an AI partner like this, one specifically designed for reflection, actually change your relationship with your own past experiences, with your own growth?
Yeah, what kind of unexpected connections or understandings might bubble up when journaling isn't just you and a blank page, but you and this intelligent companion?
Definitely something interesting to mull over.